I am Christine. Thank you. I am Christine Genovese. I am the Chief Growth Officer at Nutritional Frontiers. And one of the things that I am extremely passionate about is education. I spent most of my career in higher education. So when I had the opportunity to join Nutritional Frontiers and be able to help develop our educational programs and add to what we were doing, I was pretty stoked. So one of the things we decided to do this year was to add monthly webinars where we get to showcase some of the incredible talent that we have amongst our client base. And we also, do not only online events, but in-person events. Our professional training event that's coming up October 18th to the 20th, I'm proud to say is sold out. It's amazing. I managed to solve our space issue this week, so I'm psyched. We're going to get 200 people packed into the space, so that's pretty outstanding. And we try and deliver as much education as we can because we believe, in the power of being able to share the message on how to heal naturally. And we are very fortunate to have incredibly talented clients, colleagues, and friends who are willing to share their expertise. And tonight, we have Brenda Montrella, who is an amazing healthcare professional who has built an incredible practice in two separate locations, has plenty of experience to share with you tonight to help you build your practice. And she's going to be sharing trade secrets with you here. And I'm really excited because we're going to have a business builder panel actually at our professional training event where she'll also be speaking with some of her incredible colleagues at our professional training event. And if you can't get there live because you didn't get in time, don't worry. We will give you information on how you can stream that event. The live stream is still available, and our incredible technician Phil, who runs our marketing department and all of our IT, who happens to be here tonight as well, will make sure that you have access to all the goodness that we're going to be doing live and in person. So again, I just want to say thank you so much for Brenda for donating her time and being able to share all of her wisdom and expertise with us. So Brenda, please go.
Hey, thank you so much. I get so excited about sharing and just education overall. And just so appreciative to Nutritional Frontier with all the resources that they provide us in the education, all the events that they have. I mean, I just cannot, I'm just so excited after attending and just getting ready to attend because I know the information is going to be great and I'm going to be able to share it. I'm like literally going to build a whole program around it. And that's how I work, like to learn something and share it. So tonight we're going to talk about business building for extraordinary people. And I think everybody online is extraordinary. I think everybody has the potential to be amazing at whatever they do. And I think there's always potential for growing and to develop more and just explore the possibilities and just get really super excited about wellness and sharing wellness. So, my name is Brenda, and I'm a naturopath, and I've been doing this for many, many years. And I'm going to talk about how I got started, and all the different avenues of marketing that I've investigated and explored and found success, some failures. But it's all worth it if you are going for it and putting all of your chips in and just saying, hey, I'm going to go for it and I'm going to make it happen. And I think with perseverance and dedication, I think it can happen. So it happened with me. And if it happened with me, it can happen with anyone. So um, I have a lot of experience, and I just want to let you know right now I'm in Altoona, Pennsylvania, but my other location is in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So two different states. Very interesting story about that, but two different states, and you're wondering how do you manage it in two different states, let alone even having something in two different cities and two different locations or close by, but it all happens. So I've been on radio and have done lots of different education through the University of Penn State and many other things, just to really make sure I'm always sharing. So that's what I mostly have on my record is I'm a sharing kind of girl. So let's get started. Getting started is half the battle. Some people, it's what is our goal? What is our purpose? What is our outcome here? It's how we're living our life. And I have to say, you've got to get energized. You've got to get people interested in your business, and you've got to get people looking for you. So getting started is really, really important, and just getting psyched, getting energized. So why have holistic health? We're going to go over these things. I'm just going to go over them like mildly, but why holistic health? Um, so holistic health is, it's more popular than ever. There's so much low-hanging fruit. I have all these terminologies that I'll use, but there's low-hanging fruit, which means there are people that are in need of help and they're looking for answers, and you can supply them with the answers. So that do it yourself, the biohacking, all that's popular, they're really just kind of looking for the basics and how to do them. So let's not get too overwhelmed with all these advanced things that are out there. The holistic health is here to stay. And it's just more popular than ever. And we have lots of ups and downs. You never say, it's like, go for it. It could work, maybe not. You make some changes, you make some adjustments, but you're capable of really reaching the stratosphere as far as like the ability to help hundreds upon thousands of people. And sometimes, you have those ups and downs, and you'll reinvent yourself, and again, you grow and you learn. I'm hopefully that this little discussion that we have tonight, a little dabbling. I mean, we're going to go into more about it during our roundtable discussion, but when we grow and succeed, I mean, it's just the learning. And hopefully I'm going to be able to teach you some things, or at least give you some insight as to what I've done that has been successful, because after 30 years, you're like, I don't know if I have 30 years to learn all this. So I want some inside information. So education empowerment is so important. So I'm super psyched about the education that's supplied, but there's so much free education online. And these give you the light bulb moments. These give you the light bulb moments that allow you to start really formulating programs and approaches to what you do and how you present it to people, because you got to know your people. So by education, you're going to empower yourself, but you're also going to empower those people that you're working with. And then there's the business strategies. I think everybody just wants to go right to number 6. So let's just cut to the chase. But it's a little story, because so we got to get to the business stories, the strategies, the marketing, the branding, all the things that are really, really important. And we're always going to talk about our professional partner, Nutritional Frontiers, and how wonderful everybody is and what they offer. And, just talking about the future, we're going to talk about it. And it's super bright. It's so bright, you got to wear shades. I mean, that's an oldie, but still popular, because it is, it's really knowing that there is just so much potential up here in this head. I've got about 101 ideas. I don't have enough time to execute them all, but it's like a bouquet of flowers. I'm going to pick one of them and I'm going to execute it. But I have many more to gather or to utilize in my bouquet. So I just want to give you my story, how I started, because when you hear that story, you're like, oh my gosh, anybody could do this. So just getting started, 1996, opening up my first store. How did that even happen? Well, and I have a retail business, but when I first started, I had a really small, little shop, and I didn't really have any service that I was even offering people. So what happened was I was a assistant controller at a drug and alcohol rehabilitation center. And I knew I did not want to do that. So I quit my job and I said, I'm going to find out what I want to do. Now, most people think that's pretty crazy. You're quitting a pretty good job and you have no idea what you're going to do. But I had all my chips in. I was ready to go for it. And so what happened? I wasn't seeking it out, but I was definitely doing a lot of praying. I got to tell you that right now. And I met a naturopath, and I realized through that naturopath, I said, this is exactly because natural health and wellness just seemed to be part of my life growing up. And so when I met that naturopath, I was so excited about natural health that I opened up my first shop in a month with no information, no education. And how I did that, I put my car up for cloud. So people say, oh, well, she had money and she had this and she had, no, I was just all in. I was going for it all. And I knew I wanted the most out of life, meaning the rewards financially, yes, I wanted to not less live paycheck to paycheck, but I wanted the rewards of helping. I wanted to, make a difference in people's lives. I wanted a rewarding life. And so natural health is the most rewarding life because it gives you financial and it gives you the benefits that obviously of people coming back and just loving what you're doing. So, from there, I opened up another store and again, put my life on the line there, took out a loan. And when I was just getting started, I had a baby. I had one on the way. My husband had, cancer at the time, stage 4 colon liver cancer. So there was a lot going on. So no excuses here. Okay. So I just want to kind of tell you, no excuses. And it was always about reinventing. It was always about growing. It's always about getting out there. So one of the things when I first started is how I got out there is word of mouth, of course, but that's so slow. Word of mouth is super slow. So what else did I do? I actually took out radio ads. I was a big radio person back then, meaning I knew that people like radio in my area. So I decided I was going to put on this advertising that was the One Healthy Minute. And so what I was doing, I was giving information to people on the radio. I was talking, I was becoming an expert, and I had music that I played every time that they heard it. Well, they heard it a lot in 1 year. I mean, so much so that they would hear the music and they know exactly I was coming on. I was going to be talking to them. I was going to give them information and they were tuning in. So I was building my credibility. I wasn't trying to sell anything. I was just trying to give information out. And I think that goes a long way. It's like what information we get, we need to, definitely share. So refining that path, I opened up a Purify You after I opened up my health food store. Purify You was something that I said, hey, Amazon's, people were buying on Amazon. What am I going to do here? How am I going to get people in the door? Well, let me offer some services. So I offered some services. And because you can't buy services online, they have to come in and do them. So again, I'm just kind of showing you that, you have to reinvent and it's super successful. It's a great business that I have as far as the services are concerned. And I don't have to necessarily be there. So I wanted the best thing to do when you first get started is how do you unemploy yourself as quickly as possible? So you want to definitely take yourself out of it as much as possible, do what you do best, but let others do the other things for you. You don't want to be trying to do it all. So, going into the holistic health market, you can just see it's bonkers out there. I mean, there's just so much people are spending on. And it's just, now you're thinking like, how do I capture those people? That's the part that this problem is where am I going to go and how am I going to do this? So they're out there, the low hanging fruit. Now what are we going to do? So you'll have challenges, just remain calm. We're going to recreate ourselves. If you're just starting out, that's great. If you've been in business for a long time and you want to grow more, that's great. But, it's changing with the market all the time. We've had dramatic situations happen over the 30 years. I never sweat it. I just I'm going to keep going. There was 9/11, there was a recession, there was all these different things. I made sure that people knew that their health was the most important thing, that they had to make sure that they were investing in their health. You can, buy purses, you can buy clothes, you can do all this different stuff. But if you don't have your health, you can have all the money in the world. You need to invest in your health and wellness and making it specific to them that they can really make a difference in their life, have a better life, have more energy, have better sleep, all those things. Prevention and being proactive. I am constantly talking about that. I like when people come in and they're not well and then I help them. I get that, but I love to have the average person take charge of their health and wellness and not leave it up to someone else. So this is where we're getting into the meat of it. This is the good stuff. Okay. So everybody's like, okay, let's get the paper and pencil and everything getting ready. Because this is where I'm going to really start to share some of the things that I've done. So embracing education and definitely staying informed. Every time I learned something, when I first started my business, I learned something and I taught it to someone else. And when you do that, you will know and remember 90%. So if you say, well, I'm going to go to education, I'm going to learn this education, I'm going to go back and do nothing with it. When you go to if you're attending the metabolic crisis professional training, that would be great. That would be the first place that I would definitely start to do this. But when you go home, you're going to, be teaching these classes in your office or in your store or in whatever you're doing. You're getting groups of people together and you're going to teach it, or you're teaching your staff. So it's very, very important to embrace this education and constantly be open to what is out there. I know there's new stuff out there, but you need like the substantial foundation education of how things work in the body, how the body works, what alternative therapies to use. So you definitely have to really share the knowledge. And it could be something that you share online. So you may share on social media. So you're not trying to sell something on social media. Did you know? You're telling stories. I didn't know this, those kind of things. And again, the free kind of information that you're giving out and the handouts and all that is so, so very important. And, when you start to look and go to these different educations, you may want to look at what kind of inventory that you have. Maybe you don't have any inventory. This is what gets scary with people. People are like, I don't even know. I mean, I don't even know what to stock. Stock what you love. And then, people say, well, it's just me in the business. I'm like, okay, well, stock what you love and start there. But if it's just you, I would definitely start to think, I need someone else to help me in this business. Because what you want to do is the people that work for you, you also want to know what they love. Because if they've been using products, they're going to be suggesting products. So you want to have those kind of products online or on your offering, because what happens is they're the ones that are going to probably be talking to the people out front, your desk staff and things of that nature. So you want to make sure that you are looking at your products and what you're offering to people, and how you're going to be aligning with like the different trends, anxiety, stress, immune. I'm always trying to think of like, where are people at right now and what do they need help with? Because where's the need, fill the need. What do people need help with? And that, if we listen to our customers and our clients, we will find out so much information as far as like the trend that is going on. You can look online, but I'm telling you that people are creating waves, and I don't know, those are waves that like there's tsunamis to me. So I'm like, it's a little tough for me to navigate that. But I can listen to the people I'm in front of, and I think that's what people want. They want personal relationships with people, and they want to be heard, and they want to also know that you care and that you're going in that direction, that you're filling the need that they have. So, leveraging technology and online presence, one of the things is you definitely want, to be online. And people are like, well, how do I even do that? How do I get online? Um, you know, the social media is one of the things that's really important. But what I would do is like, I get influencers. When I opened up my Purify You down south, like, how did I get started? Well, I found people in the community that were very connected to other people. And so I knew, helping those people could help me pass on the information so much quicker, but also influencers online. So what happens is some of my customers, I would pay attention, like they have a lot of followers, or they're people that I love to share things with their families and friends. Those type of people I would highlight, or I would offer something to them, as an ambassador of your product, or a discount or something like that. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to have them, promote us. And so you're actually having other people work for you. So, it's the online presence can be you talking about your services, but that gets into a sales thing, and you really don't want to do that. You want your customers and clients to be able to highlight what you're doing and appreciate what you're doing. Just recently, I had someone who has had a remarkable recovery. And so now I've asked her, oh, can I put this online? But if you don't have very many people that, even if you have one success story, you definitely want to put it online and you want to share it. And you want to make it very personalized, meaning make it authentic, let them share what they're going to share, but then you're also adding that, you appreciate that they're sharing, and you're just, wanting to make a difference, and I can help other people make a difference. So the social media, it gets to be a little overwhelming, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. But it is something that you need to have a presence. So, in enhancing your customer experience, I mean, customer feedback, a personalized service, those type of things, when people are coming in, they want to know, like when people come into my store or my shop, they're just like, I just feel so good when I'm here. Like, you just want people to feel good. You want people to really, it's about the experience for people to come in. They can buy online, they can do all kinds of things, but to have that personal experience and just having it tailored, and just really helping them, it makes a big difference. And having loyalty programs and follow-up consultations. I mean, some people are afraid to say, oh well, when I'll see you next week, I'll see you in 2 weeks, I'll see you in a month. You've got to have that follow-up. And when you're first getting started too, people are like, well, no, what do you have available? A lot of times I'll tell people, if I have availability and there's a lot of availability, I'll say, I don't have anything really, anything too soon. I have something in like 2 or 3 weeks. They'll be like, what? It's like perception that people have. And then sometimes I'll say, you did, I had a cancellation. So sometimes I tell a little bit of white lies, but I'm just saying that, put yourself into a situation where you're in demand. So the customer experience, and just knowing that, they're being taken care of, and that you are in demand, and people are in need of help, and seeking you out. So a lot of times too, that you'll have wellness events. I had health fairs at the very beginning. I had product launches, I had free sampling. That stuff is always like, they're coming in, they're trying something. It's always new. It's always looking new. It's always something different in the office. Like, she's always up to something, so they're always intrigued by what I'm doing. And it's always because I'm looking out for something else that's going to help someone. So, new products that come out, and I love Nutritional Frontier because they're giving us free samples and things like that. I don't sell those free samples. I give them away. I'm like, taste this, see what this is like. And they're like, oh, this is good. Or, oh, the Air Max, it made a difference in 10 minutes. This is great. So, that experience, they know, they went in, they tried something, it made a difference. So you could have it on hand. Maybe you don't have a big clientele, or maybe a lot of people aren't coming in, but the people that are coming in, hey, do you have anyone in your family that's suffering this, that? You got to ask questions. So the marketing, branding, things of that nature, that's a lot of times people are really interested in this. And, I think the storytelling plays a big part. So, telling your personal story, selling your journey behind your business and things of that nature, deeper connection with your audience definitely resonates. So authentic stories, especially in the wellness industry, is really important. And then having like things that you're constantly referring to, like I always have in front of me. I mean, when I'm, working with someone, I'm always looking at, here's Nutritional Frontier, here's information about vitamin D. I mean, I have visuals so much. And so it's really important to have visuals all the time. And that includes the marketing and branding. What is your name? Does it look good? And you have business cards, things of that nature. You want to look very professional. So I use Canva. I'm a big Canva fan. So everything I have, I put my colors in there. I have branding colors. I chose, I have logos. And again, everything kind of is very consistent on there. And so I like Canva a lot. It has AI and things of that nature. So you can always share a lot of different things online. But Canva makes marketing, I think, easy. So I use a lot of things from Canva on Facebook, on Instagram, things of that nature. And getting into the Facebook and Instagram, I mean, I do think it's really important to kind of have somebody who's a social media marketing person for you, some kind of manager. I just think they know what they're doing. And you might say, well, that's going to cost me an extra 100, 200, $300 a month. Do I really want to get someone to do that? And I have to tell you, what is your value per hour? My value per hour, if I have an appointment, it's like $100, right? Or more. Let's just put a value. It's $100. Well, if I'm paying someone a certain amount, I don't have, that frees me up, okay, the time. And they're making and creating customers for me. And then what's your customer value? Every customer has a price to it. And so what happens is that as the customers come in or clients come in, they're spending. So what happens is they're using the services, they're buying supplements, and you're maybe selling packages, you may be, having them attend a class and things of that nature. So you want to have that person that's going to be able to navigate that a little bit more. You can do some of it, don't get me wrong, but the majority of it you should probably have someone else do. And there's a lot of people online that are doing that. So I highly recommend that. So financial marketing and growth strategy, I mean, your best investment is you. I mean, you can say, well, I'm going to invest in the market, I'm going to buy some property, I'm going to do that. I have always said, I'll buy a lottery ticket and I'll say, well, if I win the lottery, I'm just gonna, what am I gonna do? And then after I lose, I spend the money within 24 hours in my mind. And then when I lose, I go, you know what? You make your own, lottery winning. You are your best investment. You're always, winning when it comes to yourself. So the best investment is yourself. So you have to reinvest. So some people are like, I don't know if I really want to carry inventory and things like that. You don't want to be inventory heavy, but you definitely want to have the products there that people need. I mean, they can go online, they can do this but if you have it there and you focus in on that, it's really, really important to have those products on the shelf. Because people want, they're in, they want something right then and there. They will buy it. They will buy it. And so you just have to make it available to them. And especially if you have samples and then you're obviously have the product, you're launching something. I'm launching something for immune system, a package for immune system, a program for immune system. For the fall, maybe I'm launching a program for weight loss. And I have to tell you, weight loss starts December 26th. So don't wait till January, whatever. So September or December 26th is when you online say, here, my program's ready. You ready? So you want to build that up. So again, it's just investing and really monitoring those trends and staying very agile to make sure that you are changing your growth strategy and what you're doing. So building a supportive community. Some people are like, well, I'm gonna partner up with my local chiropractor and all that. I get that. That's fun. That's great. But I partner up with my local farmer, and my local people that are major influencers and are interested in health and wellness, but are sharing it with a lot of people. So for instance, this weekend we're having a pawpaw event. So pawpaw is a fruit in North America, and pawpaw is actually used for cancer. And I've been using it for many, many years, but had I known it's a fruit you can actually harvest and eat, and it's a whole festival that's going on. Now, most people say, well, I'm not going to be participating in a pawpaw event. Let me tell you, the group that's going to this pawpaw event, I mean, they are young, they are hip, they're groovy, and they are interested in wellness and health. Guess what? I'm going to be there. So let's not look at these like high end, exclusive wellness. I've got to have a table, it costs me money, all this kind of crazy stuff. No, there's the people out there, and including online, There's Facebook groups all over the place about wellness. You can join one of those Facebook groups, or tons of them, and then just put out like a special or something like that. Don't be all salesy or anything, but you're building part of the community online and locally. So I, pair up with my local soap maker or whatever the case may be. People that are interested in wellness is who I pair up with. And it could be local people, it could be professionals, it could be whatever. So, and it's just really keeping your information out there and really just letting people know what's happening with you. And just also, you're just gathering information as to what's happening out there in the world. So here's some business strategies. So on the inventory management side of things, again, the seasonal adjustments, focusing on those best sellers, really making sure that you're, getting your inventory. And I'm a big inventory person. Now I have obviously a point of sale program and things of that nature. So I run kind of on a high end, like I'm going through a lot of product here. um, and it builds, and I got to tell you, at the beginning, that's not where I was. I mean, I was selling like $25 a day, for the first 3 months. So it's something that you have to build. So, you don't want to be overstocked. You want to be out of stock. You really want to I love Nutritional Frontier because I can get it pretty quick. So if you're in Pennsylvania and, within a day, I mean, it's being delivered to you, people all over the place, but it usually gets to me pretty quick. And I order on a regular basis, but I take advantage of those specials that are out there. And I love the specials that come in, and I'm always informed, whether email or calls. And I so appreciate that because I'm so busy. So I'm really taking advantage of those inventory sales. And I really put out there those sales and I pass it on to the person. So it's not just me just selling, these products at retail to a person. But I do think that full value, it's worth it. I mean, the quality, the formulas, the technology, the cutting edge science that goes into it. These products are worth every penny. And so you have to know, even when you're like working with a product and you're holding a product, people don't realize that if you have it down below at waist level, it has no value. It's up here. It's way up here because it has value. So even little things like that, like I'm going to talk to you like this, but if I had it way down here, you're like, it's you. No, it's this. This is really good. I mean, this is going to make a difference. And I'm going to tell a story about it. It's always about a story. So calm day. Oh, this is what I did. This is what I used. Oh, this is great. This is what somebody else used. I don't go into like the whole technology of the whole situation. I mean, I could, but I just realized the more information you give to people, the less they listen to you. Let's be honest. That's how it is. So, your inventory is very important. I always have the samples on hand, and if I hear anybody who needs anything, I am giving a sample to that person. I do have a value on it if somebody, just so people know that it is, whatever, $8 to $12. But I'm going to let you use it. I care about you. I want to make, it to make a difference in your life. So, the digital marketing tools, like I said, the social media automation that's out there now, you could post things online and it literally, like, you can post for the entire week. But I do think you need to get somebody on your social media. I recently had someone. It's amazing what's available out there. She puts out 3 ads. She finds out through the social media whichever one is the most popular, and then that one takes precedence and runs. And these are things I cannot figure out. I mean, so it's worth having that. Um, Email marketing campaigns. I do emails every single month. It's amazing is looking at their emails. I know people think, oh, I'm swamped, but the ones that they want to look at are the ones that have information. So again, I'm teaching people through the email. So I'm not just like, hey, I'm having a special on this and that. I'm actually talking about something during the season, something critical, what's your latest DIY hack? what's your biohacking. So I kind of get in those just really cool terminologies, but I'm going to give them something. I want them to learn. I give out all my secrets. I don't have any secrets, which I love, because my job is to teach you. And I don't want you to have to keep coming back to me, but they just keep coming back to me because they keep sending other people, because they're like, this girl, she is really helpful. She's really trying to make a difference, not only in my life, but in other people's life. And I think that makes a big difference. So make sure the educational content is really high on your emails. And you know what? If you are not using Chat GPT, I mean, seriously, you should use it because it'll do all your work. I mean, you literally just put in do a post about this, and it gives you everything. You don't even have to think. You just have to put the description, and it's free. It's free. If you're not using that, I'm telling you, you could come up. I do it all the time. Give me something for a newsletter about this, and it gives me all the science and everything. I can review it, but I mean, I didn't have to do any work. So work is easier these days to supply educational content to people. Um, the wellness events, educational workshops and things like that. I tell you what, if you are not comfortable talking to people, just get someone to come and talk. I have a local person that has a well. I hate to say this, but it's not really a well in Alabama, but it's a fresh water source. So she bottles it, and she has a whole thing. She's science behind it and everything. And I think she's great. So I'm like, well, let's talk about water. So I just have her coming in, and then we're going to talk about other things about hydration. And then we're going to, bring in other supplements and things of that nature related to the subject. So you don't always have to be the person that's doing the educating. You can always get someone else to do that for you. And a lot of people want to do that. Health
I would
fairs.
just say, hey, Brenda,
Yeah.
we want to do that. All of our
Yeah.
outside sales professionals are happy to come and help co-host your wellness events, provide samples, help you with health fairs, any which way we can.
Yeah, and I mean, that is such a great resource. I mean, again, when Mike calls me, or he'll do it over the phone, he'll do it in person. So he's educating my staff or me. I mean, I'm turning around and I'm like doing a whole, workshop on what he just taught me, like yesterday. So it's really, really awesome. So obviously product sampling and things like that. Have a sample station, promote something online about sampling. That's all, super, super important to do that. Such keys to, the success of your business. So Nutritional Frontier, they're winners. So from all of the support that they provide, I mean, the education, the VIP dinners, the staff that comes, and the professional training that's going on. If you're not using that professional training guide, because people are like, I don't really have a resource. Like, where are we going to get the education? Hey, how about mastering the professional training guide? I mean, you have on there so many webinars, or so many workshops, or so many. I mean, I did one just on the questionnaire. I just got everybody together and say, hey, let's fill out this questionnaire. Let's figure out where we need to help. You can't come in for an appointment. That's okay. You don't want to pay the price. That's okay. Because I'm going to have a free little get together, and we're going to figure out together what's happening with you. So I have copied so much of that. I mean, from the
Yay!
diets. I mean, so I'm just saying it's out there, so
So
you
we're going
said,
to
where
put
did
a
you go?
link, Brenda, just so you know, we're
Yeah.
going to put a link to the professional training guide in the chat for people. It is on our website under education and
Yeah.
resources. And if you are coming to the professional training event in October, we are spending most of Friday highlighting all of the tools and all the goodness that's in the professional training guide. It really is, your naturopathic physician's desk reference. I mean, truly, like
It is.
Brenda's
It's
not
on
lying.
it's on my phone as
Yes.
a speed. It's like it's a button there. It's a button for me to go automatically. And I've been doing this for 30 years. So you think I'm gonna remember everything? I don't remember
I
anything.
love it.
This resource is invaluable. And when I saw that kind of support, I was like, this company's got it going on. And then the marketing, I mean, obviously the product sheets are amazing. I'm constantly passing them out. I'm constantly referring to 'em. The information and the science behind there is selling itself. It's like, this is transparency here. We're not trying to, the supplement says on the front what it may do. Let's turn it around. Let's look at this fact sheet. Let's see what's going on behind the ingredients. So you're really going to make a difference. I did that with the lion's mane. So I have the
Mm.
lion's mane out there. I've got the acrylic little thing holding that in. I've got the bottles out there. I'm just going to let it marinate, let people see it. So they started like looking at the back and they started like, okay. So people are coming back and saying this lion's mane is different from any that I've ever tried. I actually see remarkable difference with memory focus with this product. So the sheet allowed it to sell itself. So the clip art, I mean, there's just so much. I mean, to the support that they would give you. So technology, purchasing, I mean, the sales, all that, taking advantage of that vitamin D. I just want to tell you, that's one of the things, the resources online. And if you say, well, I don't even know where to start. I mean, you can be a cleansing person, you can be a weight loss person, you could just be a vitamin D person. Okay. That's all. Just start there. Just do some vitamin D testing and get everybody on vitamin D. That you're probably going to make so many friends. But I show that graph all the time about where you need to be because none of the doctors are testing. Everybody's having different symptoms related to low D. And so again, I show these graphs that we have online. It's the consumer alerts that we have on Nutritional Frontier. And that information is like, this is linked, these are the diseases linked to low D. I hate to say it, but right now I'm going to give you the secret. It's grassroots. People just want to know the basics. So it doesn't have to be complicated. It can be really super simple. And I think we need to start there. So, I think that, the things that I've done in the past, and even now, I'm going to tell you, radio and things like that, where I started in radio, in Alabama, they actually started a radio show just informing people of what was going on around town. And then they asked me to be on the show. I cannot tell you how much business is going on and just talking about my thing because they wanted to feature me. So look for those radio shows. I think radio might be coming back, I don't know, old school kind of stuff. But how much business I've gotten free, or I was featured on some kind of, again, you got a program, you got an interest, you got to get some energy going. And then what happens is people want to know what you're doing. But you're being honest, you're giving education, you're teaching people. And again, we have such a resource of education that it is just, it's there for you. You just need to, take it and then share it. It's taking it and sharing it and learning it. So, with that, I mean, there's a lot of other things that I would like to share, but we only have so much time. And, I want to take some questions, if anyone has any specifics that they would like to ask. And then that way I can help a little bit more, be specific. And then we're definitely going to share a lot during the roundtable. So, I hope everybody tunes in for that too.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
really
Brenda, thank
appreciate
you
the
so much for
opportunity.
giving us an opportunity to learn a little bit from you and how you've managed to grow your practice tremendously. I mean, I think one of the cool things is you really know how to leverage your resources. And we try very hard at providing as much support in education and resources available to you and to your clients on our website. So if you haven't taken a look at it or you haven't really leveraged the resources that are there, I highly encourage you to do that. And we would love to support you in any which way we can. So let's see. Kara wrote, I love that Brenda hosted an event just on the questionnaire from our NF for Life patient program booklet. It was a great way to build community and survey what people want, and they're getting free samples. So I loved, that was one of the nuggets. I was trying to put some of the cool nuggets that you were sharing in the chat, Brenda, as you're going through. I really liked, when you were talking about customer experience and creating that personalized experience, that's very much in line with what we're seeing as a marketing trend in general, right? People want that personalized attention. What are some of the things that you've done specifically to, create that personalized experience for your clients and patients?
Well, obviously, it's just sitting down with them and just really listening to them. I mean, obviously, listening to them talk and just guiding them through their health and wellness journey. It's all about how they feel when they're sitting with you, and you're taking time. If you're in a rush and you're just hey, I gotta go. They want that time with you. And we all can't afford to be spending lots of time with people, but the time that you give them just be very quality time. It's maybe like 5 or 10 minutes, if that, but you're all in. You're just thinking with them and you're helping them. And I want to kind of go into like, when you're offering what people need, when people are searching for an answer, and that they're going to need, people will say, well, I'm just going to give them one product for this particular situation. There's a minimum of 3 products that people need. There's not one, there's 3. 3 is the minimum. That's the golden rule. 1, you may get some change. 3, you're doing transformation. Okay. So it's called go for no, and I could go into a whole thing about go for no, but you're giving the top of what you feel is going to make the biggest difference in their health. And then they're going to make the decision about that. Some people are like, well, I don't know if they're going to buy this or they're going to get this. Let me tell you, you offer it to them and they will definitely, you stick to your guns. You're going for no. Like if they say no, okay, well, we can do this. So again, you're meeting them where they are, and then you're making them feel comfortable. So the experiences, everything that from what you're doing to your office to, what they're, trying and sampling, the visuals, everything you're showing them, and they're happy that they've made the expenditure, and maybe you've saved them some money, and maybe you've, just put forth a little bit more effort. So it's definitely, it's going to be an extraordinary person to help another person. I mean, and people look at you as that you've gone over and above.
Well, one of the things you also mentioned too was like starting out in a completely different area, completely different market, multiple states away, which,
Right.
and phenomenal, right? And kudos to you for doing it. But
Yeah.
one of the things that you mentioned was that you used influencers when you got to Alabama. So you didn't know anybody from Adam. How did you find those influencers? What did you do? Did you just troll social media? Did you do a search?
It was a little bit of that. I mean, I did look at even
Okay.
before I opened. So one of the things before we opened, we became a member of Tuscaloosa Business Exchange. So the business exchange group that's super loyal to one another. That's really important.
Okay.
So then we became a member there. Obviously, we could see who the shakers and movers were. Obviously the biggest ones are real estate agents. So just like the secret there. So it's really when you join those groups, you start to like really rub elbows with people that are influencing the whole community. And so that's one way to find out those individuals. As you open your doors and people are coming in, the people that are really super interested in the wellness part will start to come out. And then even, you can Google or you can put in Facebook wellness, who's their friend, or asking people. It's always about, inquiring like what people are doing, and what they do in the community, and then letting them know what you're about to do. And then they are, oh, well, this person, that person, this person would be really interested. And then you just start vining out from there. So it's just getting connected. So those business groups are really good to utilize.
Cool. One of the questions coming from those of us that are watching was, what are some of the services that you offer? What are some of the things that you offer at your practices?
So, as a naturopathy, just kind of sitting down with people, I usually use the Zyto. I mean, that has a little bit of a learning curve to it. But in the previously I'd used different types of tools. Even now, there's so many blood tests, urine tests, all kinds of things that you can do that would be super easy. But what I noticed too is that I was helping people with food, I was helping people with supplements, but then I realized that people needed to have some services because, the toxin level is very high for most people and it's getting higher. So about 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I started using infrared saunas. So I was maybe ahead of the game there, maybe a little bit. So in 2018, when I developed this Purify You, I wanted to make healthcare services that were not manned by anyone, that actually it took very little labor involved, and I didn't necessarily have to be involved, but I could get people engaged in these services to do them. So I have healthcare services that are membership based. So I have infrared saunas, I have red light therapy, I have power plate. I also have the salt or the halotherapy along with oxygen concentration. And I threw in a massage chair because people like that. So people come in for a membership, and so the membership is literally it's busting right now. I mean, in the South, we were completely full all summer long, and that was overwhelming because it's 100 degrees in Alabama and people are still coming in and using the saunas. So you're just like, people are really into wellness. I mean, because again, the studies on every single one. So whatever service you use and you decide to use, the research on it and how much it's going to help someone is what's going to really sell your services.
So was that like a membership model to where they could have so many services per month? Is it sort of a subscription model? How do you run that?
It's an unlimited,
Ooh, I'm coming to
unlimited.
Alabama, baby.
I know. So, we have University of Alabama running backs coming in.
Wow.
Justice Hayes is one of our members. He's our ambassador, so we don't charge him because he posts, and he has thousands. So he posts, and then we have another guy, Olos. He's from Finland, and he's a fullback. He's like 6'6", almost 300 something pounds. He dwarfs Bill Branch. I mean, and Bill Branch is dwarfed compared to him. So it's membership based. And again, we have ambassadors. We call them ambassadors. So those ambassadors come for free, but they're the influencers. So we ask them to share on their story and to link us. Now we also have cheerleaders and Alabama cheerleaders. And I mean, these girls have like hundreds of thousands of followers. It's crazy. And so you're tapping into all that. And this one cheerleader, she actually integrates everything in her TikTok. So it's like what I do in a day. And Purify You is just kind of sprinkled in there. So that membership base is unlimited membership. You get to use as much as you want. And it is a membership cost. It can be $200.
Very cool.
So
Very cool.
yeah, and
So
we
that's
do
really nice. That's really nice recurring revenue for you, where you don't have to have a heavy lift in addition to the
yeah,
consults that you're
you
doing and the
definitely want
product.
multiple streams of income. I mean,
Right.
that is the key. Because if you think and me doing my service or my whatever I'm doing, offering, and that's all I'm going to do, you are chained to that and you want to unemploy, yourself as quickly as possible. So that way you
That
can
sounds
create
really good.
more.
I don't know if Jamie would like that, but I really like the way that sounds, Brenda.
I want to be unemployed, you know, get me, make me useless in my business. You are useless, Brenda. Get out of here. I mean, in Pennsylvania, I'm not even here. Like I'm gone 6 weeks out of, every 6 weeks I come for a week. They're by
Well,
themselves.
maybe it's
So,
more like duplicating yourself, right? Rather than unemploying yourself. Maybe that's a better way to
I
position it.
mean, it is training people, but
Sure.
again, a lot of times people will say, if you get yourself, you've got to delegate. And people say, well, should I hire someone? I hired someone after like 3 months. I was like, whatever my value is, I need someone to be able to do some of this other work here. I'm going to drive myself crazy here. And the investment you make in hiring another person, you will never regret that. If you have a real go-getter, a real somebody who's on board, I mean, you could hire just one person, and then it'll grow from there, and then let them have the ability to to be able to do something and put some, I say skin in the game. Those people that work for me, let them contribute, let them help the growth. I by myself, I don't have all the answers, but a group of people can really make an amazing business for you. It's not all about you. It's about like the business is not me. It's all of this. It's everybody. It's just, yeah, it's just not me. So, but
Brenda,
yeah.
what's been like your like fastest growing service or like something that one of your practitioners might do? Like what has been like the one that's just kind of like, eclipsed all the others?
It's hard because I advocate because my using all of them is a method for me as a
Okay.
naturopath. So what happens is you use the salt oxygen first, and then I have special cabins, and there you have special mill speed. I mean, it's really I've kind of developed this whole program of going 10 minutes in salt, 10 minutes in power plate, 10 minutes in full body red light, and 35 minutes in the sauna. And when you do it in an hour and 15 minutes, you've got total wellness. So
Mm.
it's a thing. It's you're tapping into a wellness community, and that community is constantly giving to you. So you're benefiting from these services, but then we also give alkalized ionized water free to our members. We have discounts on our supplements. So I never sold supplements at the beginning of Purify You down there. I just kind of just they were there. We didn't talk about them. I was like, we're doing services, building confidence. And then they're like, well, I need vitamin C. And I'm like, oh, I have some. And this is really high grade. And again, I only, have the best because it's really important for me. Quality is, so I always start with quality is very important to me. Ingredients are very important to me. Who I work with is very important to me. So these things get out on the table as professional day one. And then the development of the supplements just started going. So there wasn't this sense of urgency right out of the, I just wanted to help people. And then again, it's organic a little bit when it comes to that. So yeah, now some people do pick and choose what they want to do, but I still insist, I say you should really do everything because it's free, I'm not free, but it's all part of your membership. So it's not like an addition. So they sometimes do it, but the most popular is probably the red light and the infrared saunas.
I love it. I love that you've created like a whole program and why you need to use all the different services and in even in a routine, sort of like it reminds me like the around the world dinner of wellness, you know? Like
Yeah.
you gotta have a little of this, a little of that.
Well, you need oxygen, you need your respiratory exchange to be the best. Power plates, I just love it. There's so many medical studies on it. It's insane. It's going to get your circulation, it's going to get your lymphatic system going. There are whole studios that's all it is power plates. So
Mm.
you go and do a power plate class for 30 minutes. There's 8 power plates. I don't have time to sit in a salt cave for 45 minutes or a salt room. I don't have that kind of time. So what I did is adjusted the mill speed and the concentration so that it was equivalent to 45 minutes, but I don't took 10.
Wow.
It's
That's
called,
super cool.
it's like speed health, speed dating. You're
I
like
like
going
it.
through.
I
The
like
same
it
thing
a
with the
lot.
power plate. The power plate within 10 minutes, you're getting like an hour workout. It's like crazy.
I
It's
love
crazy.
it. I love it.
But
It's like
it's
interval training
investigating.
for wellness. It's super
Right.
cool.
Yeah.
Very
And
cool.
then the red light full body is just, again, it's super, super popular. Because you can see immediate. So again, if you have a service, I'll go in and when I first started, it's like, well, someone's coming in, they're taking a tour. I used to be like free first time visit, to get started. First 6 weeks. I was getting like major sales, like founders rates and things of that nature. You really hit it hard at the very, very beginning. And even now, I'll be like, oh yeah, do you want to just try the red light? You got a pain? And because I have the confidence that after you used it that one time, you're going to feel better.
That's
And,
awesome.
so they come out and they're like, I do. So
Well,
when we would, our conversion rate, when people would do the services and go through everything was, I think like 80%.
Wow.
80% said it would come back or they would buy a membership.
That's awesome. Well, Brenda, thank you so much for sharing with us tonight some of your secret sauce and some of your
More secret sauce
success
come,
secrets.
yeah.
And the coolest thing is that we're going to get more time and attention from you coming up at
Yes.
the professional training event in October. If you are interested in getting the live stream, we have put the link in the chat and you guys are welcome to join us. We're going to have an incredible lineup of presentations and speakers. You can also check that out on the website. Thank you. My lovely assistant Phil has put the link back in the chat for me. But we'll have incredible speakers covering all kinds of topics. The whole theme is transforming through the metabolic crisis, which is affecting all of us. Friday, we're going to spend an awful lot of time on our professional training guide and going through some of those resources and tools that Brenda touched on tonight. Then we're going to go into different testing options and that you can use in your practice, followed by a couple other incredible colleagues and speakers. And we will have a business builder panel on our second day on Saturday, where Brenda will be available to us, as well as some of her colleagues and myself. So I'm really looking forward to this event. It's going to be amazing. You're going to walk away. We had an incredible testimonial from Dr. and Krista Shepard, who basically said, that their business transformed exponentially after attending our last professional training event. And that's really what we want to offer to people, to help you not only help build your practice by providing you, high quality supplements, but making sure that you have the education and the resources to be successful. And that includes business strategies. So Brenda, thank you so much for being so gracious with your time tonight. I hope everybody has a cool takeaway. We're getting lots of thank yous in the chat, Brenda. So I hope everybody has a wonderful night and we'll get to see you again really soon. Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.